Ladies and gentlemen, get ready because what you are about to hear may be the most surprising, unvarnished, and genuine confession in hip-hop history. Forget your preconceived notions about Remy Ma and Papoose. Forget about the romance. 50 Cent just took the mic and completely flipped the story. So forget about allegiance. 50 didn't give any clues in a startling new interview. He didn't make fun of it. He stated it directly. Yes, back in '06, Remy and I had a... Yes, that is the reason. Papoose has been upset ever since. Hold on, what? No. Curtis Jackson claims that he and Remy Ma were secretly meeting, connecting in hotel suites, and producing music that never left the recording booth while the world watched Remy's ascent to rap royalty. And he claims Papoose was the cause of her abruptly leaving him. According to Now 50, he remains silent for almost 20 years. But he's tired of keeping back now that Remy and Pap's relationship is publicly deteriorating. And this might be the last nail in the coffin if you thought the rumors of infidelity were awful. So let's go back to the beginning. Flip phones, Junit, tank tops, mixtapes, and loud arguments that made headlines without hashtags were all part of the 2006 era. As one of the few women who could go bar for bar with anyone, Remy Ma was making a reputation for herself in the rap industry at the time and rising through the charts as a poet. In the meantime, the business was dominated by 50 Cent. Every other Tuesday, disky tracks were released, albums, movies, vitamin water deals, and money were printed by the Knit empire. However, what nobody was aware that Remy and 50 were apparently sharing more than just label spaces and studio time behind the billboard plaques and flashing lights. And now, almost 2 decades later, 50 Cent is smiling and holding receipts in his pocket as he breaks the stillness. 50 was asked a straightforward question in a recent video that is going viral. Why not Papoose and you play pranks on each other? He never liked me, was his response. And I understand. I arrived first. Boom. The internet was destroyed. Blogs are now active. The mood of a gossip dump is sealed in. 50 claims that he and between late 2005 and mid-2006, when Remy was working on her debut album and juggling her solo goals and Terror Squad duties, she had a brief, silent, but very real connection. Remy was frequently observed entering 50's private studio after midnight and departing hours later. According to many unnamed individuals, including a former G-Unit assistant and a DJ who says she saw things, simply noted a few sins and the truth. According to one person, you could sense the energy even though they never posted or held hands. Not only was Remy showing up for verses, but she was also up for Curtis. The hotel rumor followed. We learned confidentially from a famous Manhattan concierge. Remy Ma used to use a false identity to check into the W Hotel. The suite was already owned by Mr. Jackson, like clockwork. It's the same room, same floor. Let's take a moment right here. We're not claiming that was a romantic affair. We're not claiming that there were promises and roses. We are arguing, however, that was more than just music. Papoose apparently realized that was a personal matter. Remy and Papoose were in the talking stage back in the early 2000s. They made a few public appearances together and had a few flirting interviews, but nothing formal. However, others close to Pap said he was interested in her. He was aware of the elephant in the room, but he still wanted to shut it in. That elephant sold 10 million records while wearing a ballistic vest, and the tension supposedly started there. You see, it's always been sophisticated with Pap. He was never really seen arguing or hurling insults. However, there was always an odd quiet at about 50. He didn't say anything on him, never gave him credit, and never even him public recognition. We now understand why 50 dominated every graphic and every debate at that time. 50 went beyond the dating allegation in the same clip. He included as well. Particularly when it comes to me, people are reluctant to acknowledge that they came in second. The degree it's illegal to be so bold, and the fans loved it. Threads on Reddit began to fly. Old pictures of Remy and 50 backstage were pulled. TikTokers started analyzing interviews from that time period, particularly the ones in which Remy would smirk, take a sip of her drink, and respond, "I don't kiss," and tell when asked about relationship rumors, "I bounce after knocking." Given Remy and Papoose's current locations, or rather their absences, this discovery now strikes a different chord. Publicly, their marriage has already been in disarray. The public has been witnessing their relationship fall apart in real time because of the Clarissa Shields rumors, the Diaki scandal, and Papoose's recent cryptic posts. The timing is crazy because 50 Cent enters the room as things are starting to cool down and says, "Oh, by the way, I dated her before you all even had matching tattoos." The internet is aware that the shade is deliberate. The wildest portion, though, comes next. Speaking under the name of the former G-Unit producer, Tony, also known as Tape Tech, says he still has an unreleased song that was recorded in early 2006 by Remy and 50. The label declined to release the song since it was so personal. "It wasn't a disc," he said. "The song wasn't about love, resembled confessions over a rhythm." I recall hearing genuine conversation. When questioned why it never dropped, Papoose responded, "Are they together?" Everything between Remy and 50 just stopped once Pat got more involved with her business, especially when she got into legal trouble, Tony said. She didn't ever talk about it until now. 50 had never discussed it. Furthermore, Remy's previous crisis has already damaged his reputation. So this confession seems less like hearsay and more like a calculated blow. However, why now? Why would 50 Cent abandon this narrative in the midst of a failing marriage after holding onto it for almost 20 years? Let's resume where we left off, with 50 Cent sitting there grinning like a man who has finally made his money. After 18 years of quiet, nonchalantly making a confession that ignited the culture as a whole. Because I was there before him once those things were spoken. It resembled a blast. In a matter of minutes, snippets of the interview were widely shared on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and any other platform where people watch drama in high definition. Within an hour, hashtags started to gain popularity. Before Papoose's number 206 truth bomb, Remy 50 Cent went viral, and the responses went awry. The comments weren't only crazy. One fan wrote, "So you're telling me 50 never threw shade at Remy? He knew too much." They were surgical. Like unpaid FBI interns, fans were going through old interview archives, retrieving receipts and cross-referencing previous appearances. Some even uncovered an old 106 in Park episode in which 50 and Remy just a few days apart. When asked whether she was seeing anyone, Remy chuckled and remarked, "Some things aren't. Let's just say I stay busy for the cameras." That sentence now has a completely different meaning. The world looked directly at him when this bombshell was released, so let's take a moment to chat about Papoose. What did he do? Nothing. No mysterious quote. No Instagram story. No tweet about karma or loyalty. Nothing but quiet. But that quiet says a lot to many who have seen Pap throughout the years. He has never been the loudest person in the room and has always been calculating. And he moves for a reason when he does. It's not surprised. An individual close to Papoose's team told Gossip Spill Vibe, "Things have been tense behind the scenes." Tense, try toxic. Because the love triangle that existed prior to the love narrative hypothesis isn't simply a disaster. It completely rewrites the basis of Remy and Papoose's bond. We're discussing a man who, after most others had passed her off, helped her resurrect her profession, reared her child, held her down through a 7-year bid, and actually married her while she was incarcerated. Fans are now a backup plan. To mention that one of the first significant partnerships Remy hinted about after her release from prison in 2014 was a joint collaboration with Papoose. However, admirers saw that she was still occasionally seen with former G-Unit producers. At the time, it was dismissed. Everyone is now taking a second look. Remember that reported unreleased track? Well, that's where things get messier. Guess what, though? It's true. The Booth Ain't Safe is a 90-second sample that was published late last night by an unidentified SoundCloud account. Over a beat reminiscent of an old-fashioned gun, it has a female voice that sounds strangely similar to Remy rapping. Fast flights, late nights, and booth secrets. No names, just one call, but you know the truth. Yes, that's the spirit. The male voice interrupts, saying, "I don't have to claim it. I was just there first. You held the crown later. I helped her rehearse." Even though the song's validity has not been verified by any official sources, fans are certain it is authentic and was captured on tape during those late-night 2006 sessions that are now the subject of rumors. During the Breakfast Club, even, DJ Envy was unable to resist. Let's take a moment to consider the following. This could be one of the wildest throwback scandals hip-hop's ever seen. And 50 just poured gasoline on an already burning marriage. Larger picture, since Remy Ma's past isn't the only thing at stake here. The time is roughly 50 cents at the master level. Why hold off until now? After almost 20 years of silence, why stand up? It's easy. Because Remy and Papoose's relationship is already publicly deteriorating at the moment. The claims of cheating, the live broadcast malfunctions, the turmoil surrounding Clarissa Shields, and the Taki leaks. 50 is able to detect smoke in a perfect storm. This is a traditional 50-cent tactic. Hold off the crack show. Keep an eye on online speculation. Like it's no big issue, drop a casual bombshell. Let the mayhem do the talking. And let's face it, no one executes retaliation as expertly as Curtis Jackson. Do you recall his treatment of Ja Rule, Young Buck, or Rick Ross? This guy isn't a beef. He engineers the collapse. Additionally, if the reports that Remy once prevented a G-Unit collaboration are accurate, this small admission is more than trivial given Papoose's past. Payback is what it is. Fans are now divided. According to some, 50 ought to have kept it to himself. Some claim that he revealed the facts, but everyone thinks that only made Remy and Pap's already failing business appear irreparable. It was best expressed by one blogger. What hurts isn't the cheating. It's because we have faith in them. They seemed odd to us, and now the story has completely changed. Was Pap the one who was played from the start because he was loyal? Was Remy point? Or did it exist? Always, even if only in memory, a part of her that remained connected to 50. There is no doubt that this realization was not unexpected. It arrived on schedule and with accuracy. The pandemonium is only getting worse as fans are now demanding interviews, remixes, and even documentaries. What then occurs? What comes next? That's precisely where the third portion begins. The future of a once-respected hip-hop couple now embroiled in a controversy that has been building for 18 years. The ramifications, the silence, and the PR catastrophe. Therefore, the past is no longer the past now that the secret has been revealed. Since, let's face it, 50 Cent didn't simply disclose a fling. He revealed a flaw that has been subtly underlying Remy Ma and Papoose's whole public persona. And with millions of fans watching, responding, and picking sides, that fault line has suddenly exploded. Let's discuss fallout. Social media went crazy following 50's shocking interview and the leaked sample of the purported 2006 song. Into complete meltdown. Once loud, devoted, and proud, Remy Ma's fan base is now sharply split. Some people yell, "Let her live." Others don't feel that way. One post received close to 50,000 likes. Her favorite person was never Papoose. He simply remained when the music ceased. The way 50 sat on this information for 18 years and then dropped it now is some Game of Thrones villain timing. Read another widely shared tweet. And to be honest, it's not wrong because it wasn't just petty. It was calculated and surgical, and the silence from Remy Ma's camp says it all. No denial, no emoji caption or throwback selfie to divert the fans. Just resounding silence. But guess who broke the silence at last? Papoose, and he did it with a microphone rather than a tweet. Late Friday night, Papoose released a surprise freestyle called First to Know, a 3-minute song set to a powerful, dark piano beat. You were his before me. I don't mind that you have a past, but when the facts don't add up, don't expect a monarch to bow. I'm the last to understand how the city feels, but it's not about who hit first, it's about who stayed true. Even musicians like Meek Mill and Teyana Taylor uploaded the video with comments like respect and real one, and within minutes, hashtag PEPOOs was trending. The freestyle didn't name anyone, but come on, everyone understood exactly who and what he was talking about. The focus is now on Papoose, the devoted husband, the father figure. The quiet protector who might have been in love with someone who wasn't all the way in. Previously, Remy Ma was portrayed as the ride-or-die woman who had made it through the system, stayed down, and returned home to a man who never left her side. And 50 Cent is still laughing. 50 shared a selfie with the caption, AOP snapped. But y'all know I ain't lying, the day after Papoose released his freestyle. People are feeding into the instability, and this man is profiting from it. Industrial leaders are also contributing in the interim. Fat Joe, a longtime friend of Remy, posted a video that said, everyone has a past. But I don't respect it when it's being expressed in this way. I avoid going into people's houses. The code is that. However, Fat Joe also did not deny the association. Funk Flex went live and stated, I was aware of at the time, but no one wanted to discuss it. 50 just obtained the mic first. This raises the question of whether the whole business was aware of this and just cooperated. Did we see a fairy tale based on unsaid regrets and hidden secrets? And now what? Remy's staff is frantically working behind the scenes. According to insiders, a planned appearance on a podcast was abruptly canceled. Due to schedule conflicts, a performance at an event aimed at empowering women was postponed. They're removing her from the spotlight because, in PR parlance, whatever microphone she touches at this time won't be about music. It will be roughly 50 cents. The internet is also waiting. And here's where it strikes hardest. This controversy didn't originate from TMZ. It didn't leak through a disorganized assistant or a compromised iCloud. People are really holding Twitter, Spaces and YouTube live streams with the title, Did Remy Ma Ever Love Papoose? 50 Cent, petty or protective, is rewriting Remy's legacy. We are now left with these pressing questions. Was 50 Cent attempting to warn Papoose all these years? Did Remy Ma ever tell Pat the truth? Is this the true reason their marriage ended? It came straight from 50 himself, meaning it wasn't an accident. It was an announcement. People who don't even listen to Remy or Papoose's music are now fully invested because if 50 was there first, as he claims, then every anniversary post, every onstage shout-out, and every viral Black Love moment is now being viewed through a different lens, and the fans are consuming every moment of it. As it stands, 50 Cent is drinking from a throne made of memes and microphone wires. Remy Ma is silent. Papoose has spoken once with fire, and the rest of us are just sitting here waiting to see. This is no longer just gossip. It's a full-blown cultural reset that flips the entire script and reaches into loyalty, perception, ego, and image. Who speaks next? And the most pressing question of all is, was it ever real, or was Pap just the rebound that stayed? Title: 50 Cent reports that he was secretly dating Remy Ma in 2006, which is why Papoose despises me. The truth, or at least 50 Cent's version of it, is now out, and Remy Ma's silence is thunderous, has spoken. The internet is blazing, playing back 2006 interviews as if they were court testimony. But what do you think? Was this merely a clumsy confession from a man who enjoys chaos, or was retaliation? And where does leave us? Let's talk about Remy Ma. A woman praised for her loyalty who is now embroiled in a scandal that could change everything we believe to be true. Did Remy really pick Papoose over 50? Or did Pap stay when things got serious? Was 50 inappropriate for bringing up old issues? Or did he reveal the cause of his and Pap's failed relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Choose a side and remember to like, turn on alerts, and subscribe. Due to the fact that if 50 Cent opens his, you already know that this isn't that he's dumping his final tape.